Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky. I'm living Christ. Today I'm going to speak to you about that which has been kept from you for your entire lifetimes, for most of your history. I'm going to speak to you about truth, about God, about what is, about non-dualism and dualism, the very essence of life, as most of you know it, but are completely unaware of what these words mean. You live your life as automatons, conditioned automatons. You are living men. You are living women. That's the fact. That's the truth. However, you have chosen. You have been pressured. You have been imposed upon to adopt the title of an artificial person. Now, what is a person? A person's a fiction, an idea created by government, another idea. But the idea of government arises from the intellectual mind, your mind, your conscious intellect. You understand? Your programmable intellect. You were taught concepts, words. Now, words are fictions. No question about that. But what they do represent is energy. Energy is living. Energy is nameless. It's infinite. It's malleable. Unchangeable, actually, the essence can be manipulated into waves of ideas that come to you as thoughts. And those thoughts are entertained by your conscious intellect. And they're given a name. They're labeled and defined. But they're energy. They're unknown. It's when the unknown becomes the known is when they are named, given a name. You are all named. But part of that name is real, true, your surname. And the secondary name, family name, is artificial. It's given to you by government. Understand? And government gives you the name, it spells that name in all capital letters. That distinguishes that name from your true name, spelled in capital letters and lowercase letters. Do you understand? My name is Raymond Ronald Karchevsky. However, there's also Raymond Ronald Karchevsky in all capital letters. And that's the trademark, the trade name, given one by birth certification. In that artificial, fictional process of birth certification, the living being in the infant from the womb, given the name of Raymond Ronald Karchevsky by the family members, was transmitted immediately into a person through birth certification in the hospital. Not of his doing, not of his consent. You understand? The true Raymond Ronald Karchevsky was born infinite energy into a body, a corporeal body, and a mind, a computer-like mind, which controls that body. But the spirit of Raymond Ronald Karchevsky is immortal. It lives forever. You understand? Of course, it's nameless until it becomes given the name itself. But that spirit remains, always, infinite. That is the part of God. Now, we use that word God as we use the word Raymond Ronald Karchevsky as labels to identify the known, which is really identifying that which is unknown, the energy, the infinite energy that exists and is heretofore nameless. Once named, it becomes artificial to a degree that one gives one's consent to that, agrees to be that, unless it is rebutted by the energy that wishes to remain beyond the artificial labels of names and ideas. That's what life is all about. That's what eludes all of you. If you are educated in the educational system, you've gone to schools, you have been trained artificially to live in an artificial world, a fictional world, because you are a fiction. You are a name. Oh, you're much more than that, but you'll settle for that name. You understand? You agree, you consent to be that name. And at that point you agree, through contract, with the satanic forces, which were in fact the creator of that artificial name, government. Now there are many institutions that are satanic. Government is one of them. Religion is another. Satanic. Now that will raise your hackles. No question about that. I understand that will make you angry because I am tampering with your beliefs. Now, what is a belief? A belief is an understanding, a partial understanding, of that which is, but it's not whole. It's not complete. It's not holistic. It's not holy. Therefore, it's a belief. And that belief is intellectual in nature. Therefore, it separates you from another who has a different belief, a different conditioning, a different training. But fundamentally, at the subconscious level, the energy is the same. You and the other does not exist in the subconscious mind. All that exists there is the what is. And the what is, you will note, is non-dualistic. There's no opposite to it. It is what is. It's truth. That's what God is. You see, the word God is a word. The Bible speaks of that word as a basis for all Christian beliefs. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was God. You've just been trained. You've just been snookered. You've just been told what God was and you believed it. And you believed it because you weren't capable of disbelieving it. You were a child, or you were an infant in the ways of the intellect and therefore could not argue, could not discern what is truth and what is not truth. And you blindly accepted God, the word God, as God. But God is the infinite intelligence that is energy, heretofore unknown. There's no name to it. When there is no name to it, you understand? One is all there is. Now that's the world of God. That's the world of creation. You have to make that into something limited in order to create something. And that's what words are. They're the building blocks of fictions. So you build a fictional world, believing it to be real, and you pledge your life force, your infinite life force beyond words, as that which is in your belief system. Do you not see that it is counterfeit, that it is a fiction of your own conscious intellect? Now, that makes the difference between a living man and a living woman and a fictional person, the artificial man, the corporate man, the legal man. You understand? You all agree to be that. You consent by your silence. It's accepted in the satanic legal system as admission that you agree. You've contracted. You see, all satanic actions are based in contract. And contract is the essence of the legal profession that we know now in society. It controls our words, controls our belief systems, controls our actions, our behavior. Understand? Most of you don't understand. That's quite clear. And when you are told about that, you feel insulted. Why do you feel insulted? Because you feel just how limited your understanding is. And you feel the pain of that limitation, and you must blame someone for that. So you lash out to the source of that truth, that Christ. You lash out at me. We've been going through this merry-go-round for 25 years. And I have spoken the simple truth to you, and it has offended damn near all of you. Because you seek comfort, you seek security in your artificial world of beliefs. But you cannot sustain any kind of relief that you find temporarily through belief. It haunts you. That temporary respite from the truth is there. Whenever you turn around, it is there. And your energies that you use to deny it wane, and therefore you feel the pain of your ignorance. Yes, I'm using words that are offensive to you. You are being insulted. Oh, you will lash out, and you'll lash out in groupthink. Because you can't stand alone. You can only stand in numbers, in legions of believers, blind believers, where misery loves company. That is evidence of satanic thought. Understand? Body, mind are corporal. The spirit is incorporeal. It's infinite. That is who you really are. You're beyond time. You're beyond space. You existed even before you were born. What was born was the time-bound corporeal body and mind. The time-bound mind. That's what birth was. And you live that temporary existence until you die. And when you die, that body dies along with the mind. But the spirit continues because it is not corporeal. It is not temporary. It is infinite. It is beyond definition. It is God itself. Yes, that part of you is what you don't understand. And because you don't understand it, you're held back by your belief system. And you operate according to your own limitations that you have learned, or better yet, you have been taught, trained to believe in. And that you call your life. That's hell. It's called hell on earth. And you're here on this planet because you are multidimensional. You are not who you think you are. You have never been who you think you are. Those are merely the thoughts that were programmed into you by people who control your minds, your teachers. But you see, they all belong to the same system of mind control. The government, the religion, the banking organizations which control your life energy by giving it a name. Money symbolizes your life energy. And it controls that and strips most of it away from you involuntarily through taxes, through tithing, but also through your consent, through your contract. That's how ignorant you are. Understand? You're not free men and women, but you think you are because you live in words. But those words aren't real. They die when the intellect dies. Words are temporary. Words are illusions. Words are fictions. You understand that? I use the word understand because it's a transcendent energy. It goes beyond the limitations of your own limited beliefs. You understand that? It's a matter of who you truly are versus who you think you are. You are God. The God that you pretend to worship. But you see, that God is a word, an idea. It's a fiction. And you give your life, you give your energy to that fiction, you pledge away your infinite wisdom, your infinite energy to a limited thought called God, and that's called religion. It's called philosophy. It's all satanic. Well, there again, I've just insulted you. But did I really? Hopefully I have awakened you to some degree, because you now understand that you are not your mind and you are not your body. You never have been, and you never shall be. That is when you return to your home, your spiritual home, the home of truth, the home of what is, the Christ state of consciousness. Understand? There's no duality there, therefore there's no argument. A Christ cannot argue with anyone because he only speaks what is the truth. And what is heard, of course, by the intellectual mind is the dualistic satanic intellect that holds on to fictional ideas and words and definitions and argues, endlessly argues. Who's right? Who's wrong? That only exists in your conscious intellect. It does not exist in truth, in life, in love, in God. Understand? Only you will find what is in that realm of non-duality. And that is what I have been bringing to you for 25 years now. Jesus of Nazareth, a product of your conscious intellect, your religious conscious intellect, is an idea in your heads. That's all it is. The essence of that man, who some even declare never ever lived, that is merely a concept. You see, that's what you can do with the conscious intellect. You can create scenarios of reality and argue as to whether they're true or not. And most of you spend most of your life in that arena. Therefore, you're in conflict. You're in perpetual conflict and confusion. Violence. Look at your life. When you work out in actions and behavior your ideas, which are conflicted and at odds with one another, you see the inevitable violence, which is there, always. That's what is going on in civilized society with its wars, its religious conflicts, and artificial beliefs. They're not real, they never were real, but to you they are. They're very much real. But then again, that's your illusory reality that you have created for yourself, that you accommodate yourself to. Well, it's time to wake up. I have been at this for 25 years. I have given everything to you freely, no charge, no strings attached, with only the request of, if you find the truth of what is being said in these talks, these videos, volunteer your donation. Do not let it be a condition. Cooperate rather than compete. Understand, you live in a world where you pay for everything because you're living in a world of duality. That's hell. The second coming of Christ consciousness is the world of non-duality being experienced by each and every one of you who understand that hell is not necessary and you can step out of it anytime you want, merely by stopping your competitive, dualistic relationships with one another, where everything costs you money. Until that happens, you need money in order to live even a comfortable life. But most of you do not. You're looking at a financial collapse that will throw you into a world of helplessness where everything you have depended upon for your security will be taken away from you, will be stripped from you. You will be stripped of your humanity. You will be stripped of your wealth. You'll be stripped of your homes. You'll be stripped of your way of making a living to pay in order to live in these artificial dwellings, holding down artificial jobs. Do you understand? I'm 82 years old. For 20 years I played the satanic game. I lived according to the civilized rules. I held down a job. I was a police sergeant when I retired. And I was forced into a retirement because I have all my life, lived according to the truth. And the truth put me into conflict with the idea of truth that was being promoted by these artificial institutions that control your mind. And my actions as a police officer ending is evidence of that. They forced me into a retirement based on a medical disability, which was real, but I didn't want to retire, but I had no choice in the matter. They were set upon getting rid of me. So I either accepted the retirement or I was going to be fired by some cockamamie reason conjured up by the forces, the satanic forces, which made up the policies of that city and that department. I took the retirement, and it has changed my life. It has allowed me to live freely as a living man of truth. And I have had nothing but assaults upon that energy by the satanic forces of government. There in California, and I had my own security company that I ran for 12 years, and they tried to put me out of business from day one. And they could not. Understand? I fought them. I stood up to them. I exposed them. And ultimately, they retreated because No government, no religion, an artificial construct, can stand up to truth. No court, also a satanic construct, can stand up to truth. That was followed when I retired and settled down in Oregon. And for the past 25 years, I have been standing up and exposing the satanic forces of Josephine County government, the government of the state of Oregon, and the federal government. And there has been a giant cover-up to silence, to discredit, to attempt to destroy this living Christ's reputation in every way. And they have failed there, to the point where they have declared me to be dead. And then the media, the PR realm, the mind control realm of satanic conditioning ignored me, ignored my videos, ignored my articles. They banned my articles. They shadow banned my articles. They control the views on my videos to the point where, at first look, it appears that the videos are worthless because they exhibit to a worldwide audience a double-digit number of views. That's how they control your minds. You look at the number of views and you don't even bother to listen to the videos. And if you did that, you would find that they are world-shaking, earth-shaking in their truth, their energy of what is, which exposes the satanic forces that have made each of you a slave and called you a citizen, a 14th Amendment citizen, where you, by your own consent, agree to be that label. Now that's the sign of your ignorance. And I have brought you to the point where I have shown you, I have given you the formula for releasing yourself from hell, and you ignore it and continue to attack and assail this living Christ as some sort of enemy. That's how dumb you really are. There could be no other way. For those of you who have supported me in the past and do understand the real value of my videos, you've dropped off in supporting me. I receive no support whatsoever at the present time and haven't for several months now. Something wrong with that. Until you understand fully who you are, you will be trapped in this dualistic hell that you have made for yourself through your beliefs. And that's where you'll stay. However, if you want out of hell, it's going to cost you at least some sort of donation of that which you believe is worthy of the information that you have received from me. I have a PayPal link on my website. Visit it and show your support. At this point, I'm not in business. I haven't been in business for years. I operate on a total cooperative donation basis. I have given you free of charge the wisdom of the ages, and ask only that if you find it valuable to in some way demonstrate that value by supporting me through PayPal. Now, time is getting tough, and we're heading for a collapse, a financial collapse, and you will have a ready-made excuse not to support me because money will be needed. Let the whole damn system fall apart and find out that it was never necessary to begin with, and therefore it was never necessary to support it. And you will recover your life energy, and then we can share that oneness of love, of cooperativeness, of energy, of truth with each other. That is my aim, and I share it with you. Let me hear from you if you're out there. Link up with my PayPal list and support the efforts of this living Christ. Thank you.